going on, guys? Code here, and today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit like, I don't really know how to put it. Something that obviously is speculation, obviously, but I want to talk about the recent news, obviously, Atari buying Night Dive Studios and what this means for the Atari VCS. For those who don't know, the Atari VCS has struggled in the past, well, I say year or two, to really get any games from third-party developers on the platform. Sure, there's been a few indie games from people like Tony Barnes, who's known as Retro Ninja Online, but there's not been too many games from people that aren't, well, really Atari. And even Atari has only really released a few games on the VCS over the last year or so. But with Atari buying Night Dive Studios, what does this mean for Atari? Well, the Atari VCS could potentially be about to get a huge swarm of new games, right? Some of the notable games owned by Night Dive Studios include Turok and System Shock. These games are huge. People know them, people love them, and these games could potentially be huge for Atari VCS owners and Atari fans in general, as these games could then become to the Atari VCS, and more people could check them out and play them. That would be huge for Atari fans as well as VCS owners. So, why am I talking about this? Well, I want to also point out there's a game series that Night Dive actually helped make for Atari, or at least help port to PCs nowadays, called Blood. Now, Blood is not actually a franchise owned by Atari. Atari has the publishing rights to the franchise, similar to Roller Coaster Tycoon, but the actual IP is owned by Warner Brothers. But I do feel like that could be Atari's next step. Atari could try and purchase Blood from Warner Brothers, and I feel like it would be a good idea, because obviously with Warner Brothers Interactive, to me, I don't feel like Warner really knows what they're doing with games, because unless it's based on like Harry Potter or DC, Warner doesn't really seem to produce many other games from what I know, so they might as well just sell some stuff like Blood and some of their Midway arcade library to someone like Atari. To me, that just seems like common sense. But with Atari VCS, obviously games like Turok, Blood could potentially come, and games like System Shock, it could potentially lead to the Atari VCS having sort of a renaissance in some people's eyes, and the VCS becoming more of a system that people are going to actually want to buy, check out all these games that could be coming. Obviously, nothing is confirmed. Atari hasn't confirmed anything like this, but I do feel like Atari will probably get Night Dive Studios to release some of its back catalogue on the VCS to help push the VCS, and obviously try and sell some units that aren't really selling and just sitting on store shelves. Plus, obviously, it would look good. It would look good for investors, obviously, because Atari has positioned the VCS as sort of like as a mini console that obviously it's not meant to rival the Xbox, PlayStation, or Switch, but they've kind of charged so much for it, and it hasn't got the best game library. So this could be a huge thing for Atari fans and investors, especially. Obviously, I'm one myself. I have to disclose that, but we want to see the Atari VCS succeed, and obviously Atari succeeds as a company by selling more games and more units of their products. So to me, getting Night School's games on the Atari VCS is a no-brainer, and could potentially lead to the Atari VCS at least doubling or even tripling its sales, as well as there being just more games to buy on the VCS. But anyway, guys, this is all speculation. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you like this video, like the video. Dislike, I've been Ethan, I'm signing out. Peace.